BreitlingsSource.com here, and we're looking at a Panerai Luminor Marina, but this one is not real. This one's purchased by a friend of mine, and because he's always liked Panerais, but he can't really afford to put out the change for one. And I mean, in a lot of ways I can't blame him. I mean, they are pretty expensive watches for what they are, if you look at simply what makes up a Panerai. A lot of the value goes into its exclusivity and limited production. So this here is a fake Panerai 111. I believe this is a fake of the H series, and sandwich dial. The AR coating on these ones is really strange. As you can see, it reflects sort of a blue tint. The real Panerais that I've owned do not seem to have this. As you can compare this to the daylight here, there's no blue tint, but they're supposedly AR coated as well, though I'm not sure. I don't have a real 111 to compare it with, but I have compared it to other similar models, and some of the inconsistencies are in the shape of the numbers. They're not completely perfect, and a few other things such as the device protecting the crown. It's not put together that well. When it frequently becomes loose, and when you look at the lever itself, it wobbles. Whereas a genuine one will be completely flush and not wobble at all, and the pin holding it is imperfect as well. This particular fake apparently has a real Swiss movement in it. I'm not sure if that's like definitely true or not, because I'm not that familiar with the movements themselves, but I do have a case open here, and we can actually let you take a look at it. A little bit more. So it does have a Swiss marking, but who knows, they could stick anything there they want. It is serial numbered, apparently. Swan's neck fine adjustment. It's not finished nearly as cleanly as the other. I also have a 114, and it's not. The 114 has a much better finish to it than this one does, and I'm not sure if that has anything to do with whether it's Swiss or not, or just how well it was finished, period. So that's the movement there, and it is done in the correct newer style of the H series. They did a few things really poorly on the fake, which is the screws here, they're not flush against the edge. On this side they're not either, and the screws are completely stripped, and they strip very easily, so when you screw it in, it doesn't actually screw in, it just sort of pushes in and just kind of like shakes it, like kind of just bypasses the screws. You can hear it like scratching against the screw threads, and when you unscrew it, it doesn't do anything. You have to kind of push it on this side, so it doesn't instill a lot of trust as far as keeping the watch on your wrist. So that's one of probably the worst things, and of course the wobble here is not very good. The watch seems to keep pretty decent time. The strap really sucks. It doesn't age very gracefully. It seems to just rob and peel where it shouldn't. Let me take a look at it on my wrist here. .44mm. Looks pretty good. I mean, I can't say that from afar I'd be able to tell that it was a fake, but up close its flaws are quite apparent. The buckle is nice. Funny thing though, I took the buckle and I compared the width of it. It's actually not the right width. The buckle is actually slightly larger. It's around 23 millimeters as opposed to 22 millimeters, which is what a OEM buckle should be. So it's kind of an odd thing about it too. But I mean, my buddy I think paid $250 or $260 for this thing. So I mean, you do get what you pay for. And frankly, for 200 some odd dollars, it's not a bad watch if it really does have a Swiss movement in it. So hope you enjoyed the review. And I remember, I do not condone the buying of fakes or replicas. I personally only buy the real thing, and I would recommend that everybody else out there also buy the real thing. This video is purely to educate the user on what the problems with the fakes are, so that when you do buy one, you can be sure to sort of determine for yourself whether or not you purchased something that was real or fake without having to go to an AD necessarily. But you know, as always, if you're not feeling comfortable buying online, you should go to an authorized dealer and purchase it there. Especially with Panerai, with their aftermarket secondary selling prices being so close to the new prices, you're almost in a lot of ways better off buying it from an AD if you can. And that's the only problem. Sometimes you can't because the production is so limited. So I hope you enjoyed the review, and have a good one.